Do you want to discover more joy, peace, and freedom with food, exercise, and your body? Here we bring a compassionate, holistic, and sustainable approach to fitness so you can fully enjoy the life you want and express your unique self with the world. I'm Michelle Roscoe, and I want to help you find fitness freedom. I'm so glad you're here. So today's podcast episode is a little different. I am sharing all about the 4-H method, how it started, the story behind its creation, and exactly what it is laid out for you. If you would like to watch this in video form, you can go to the links in the show notes and you can watch me move my hands and get all expressive as I talk about these things. Or if you're more visual, it might be helpful for you to see the framework. But I'm so genuinely excited to share this, to create this. It's been a wonderful joy. I've felt unconditionally loved and supported the whole way through, and I'm so excited for you to join, for you to take part of this. If you have any questions, reach out to me, let me know. If any of this resonates for you, it is probably for you. We start on Monday, March 25th. Join now, get your spot locked in, make that commitment to yourself. You're going to feel a lot better on the other side. I'll give you a personal welcome call myself to welcome you into the program. And I like you and I love you. Enjoy listening to this. Hi, I haven't gone live in forever, and I'm wearing a weird filter. I'm not sure why I chose this one, but I wanted to share the 4-H method story. A reel felt too short, a post, I don't feel like typing. I just want to talk. So a while ago, I was a part of a coaching program with Nicole Spencer. She's a wonderful coach. And they had me come up with like a framework, like a unique way of how I approach health and fitness. And I came up with the 4-H method because it made sense. It's alliterated and I love alliteration. You know that if you work with me, or if you spend time with me. Hope, habits, happiness, health. And it has to do with starting with your mindset, and where I had to start in my own recovery with eating disorder and with my own approach to health and fitness, which is I'm already worthy. I can start with acceptance. And from that worthiness, I am powerful to create what I want in my life. And from that, habits. You incorporate practices into your life, daily, weekly, monthly habits that give you a structure and a framework. And I want to help my clients do that. So many of us struggle with inconsistencies and extremes. And happiness, you have to take your whole life into account. Your happiness, if you're not happy, it's not healthy. And from that leads to true health, which is feeling energetic to do what you want to do. You feel free from expectations and criticisms inside and out. And you feel empowered in your body. Again, emancipation, empowerment, and energy. It's all alliterated. And so, yeah, that's the framework that I did. I put it into my programs, which is the best way that I like to work with clients is through programs, structured programs, teaching, courses, coaching. And then fast forward to just a few months ago before I went on vacation, I was tired. I was really tired in December. I felt like I had nothing left in me. And even though I would rest, it just felt like never enough. And it was not just physical, it was mental and emotional. So on my vacation, I told myself, I am going to rest. I'm going to let everything go, take a break from things. On the other side, whatever comes out, I'm open to it. Even if that means changing my business, letting go of my business, whatever it is, I'm willing to let go of it. I just open myself to whatever possibilities and just let it go. And I forced myself to rest. I listened to lots of good books around rest and abundance and just let go of the guilt and the need for productivity. And that was so healing. And as towards the end, it wasn't even in the beginning, I was so antsy, like, what's next? What's next? What am I going to do? I would write in my journal every morning, like, what am I going to do? What is it? I was just told, rest, just be, just relax. By the way, this is really personal, but in my journaling, I feel like from listening to Sonia Choquette, I communicate with my spirit or higher beings or my more evolved self, whatever you want to call it. And I get answers every time I ask questions, and it's beautiful. But yeah, so I was doing that a lot. And then towards the end of my trip, I felt like I got it. Like I realized, oh, I'm going to cry. And it's true, because so many times coming with my clients, they would come to me, they would be so tired of dieting, exercise, and they would feel so guilty. And even if they weren't exercising a lot or, having the healthy habits they wanted to, their lives were so full of stress that what they really needed was rest and recovery and rejuvenation. And I felt like, no, but that's not my job. I need to give them a workout plan, or I need to give them more to-dos with their nutrition. And part of me felt like, oh, there's got to be a better way. But I didn't feel like I had permission from the fitness world to be able to, prescribe rest to clients. But on this vacation, I came back to this 4-H method, and I remembered hope is the foundation. And in order to really tap into your own worthiness and your own power, it starts with release. It starts with rest. It starts with recovery. And I'm crying because this means so much to me, because I've seen it over and over again in my life, and I can see it in other people's lives too, that most of us don't need to do more. Most of us don't need to work out harder. Most of us don't need to make more rules to follow in our eating. Most of us really just need to meet and connect with ourselves. And that doesn't mean that's the end, where you're just like, okay, that's good. There's more to it than that. There's the habits and the happiness and the health and all that stuff. All the details come. But the foundation is rest and release and recovery. So things started coming to me on the plane, on the flight back. I was like writing like crazy. I was thinking about what I wanted for myself and what I wanted to create for this 4-H method. And when I got back, I just sat down and I wrote all these things down. And since then, I've been putting it into structures. I've been creating so many materials, videos, habits, helpful lessons, and putting it all together in a way that's easily digestible, that makes sense for you, for anyone who wants to do the 4-H method. And I keep doubting myself, like, is this enough? Is this good enough? This is so wild, because I don't know of any fitness program or any health program that says, okay, we're going to start with rest, and we're going to start with just being, and we're going to start with connecting to yourself. So it feels so revolutionary, and a part of me, I like to be different, is so proud of that. And a part of me is like, no one wants this. No one's going to do this. No one cares. This is like so antithetical. And I see all these fitness videos where it's just like, work out, meet your macros and be buff. And I mean, that's great if that's what you're into. Everyone has their own thing, but that's not what I think most of us need in our health and fitness. I don't think that we have a deficit of standards of what our body should look like, or how we should eat, or how we should move. We have no deficit of the voices telling you, do this, do this, do this. I think what we really, really, really need, and I will say women especially, but everyone, or people who grew up as women in society, what we really need is to connect with ourselves. And from that place, that's the only place where we can really know what we truly want, aside from all the noise, aside from all the pressure and all the shoulds. And when we can reach that place, fitness and health, it stops being hard. It stops being something that's a struggle that you have to keep up with, or you fall off the wagon, or you think, oh, I can't get myself to do anything, or I can't stay consistent, or why isn't this working? It just stops being hard. It stops being a struggle when you start with yourself first. And most of us don't want to do that because it's scary, I know. It's really hard. It's really hard. Resting is harder than running a marathon. Resting is harder than meal prepping. Resting is harder than showing up to your work. True rest it's hard just because our brains are not used to it, but it's our natural state. It's our natural place, our natural being. And when we start there, then everything else becomes easy. But we have to be brave enough to be willing to start where it's a little bit harder, because most programs and most diets, I've done it myself. I've seen it over and over and over and over and over again. They start with, all right, work out this many times a week. This is your workout program. Eat this much. Follow these macros, follow these calories, follow this, and you're going to lose weight and everything's going to be fine. And you're going to reach your fitness goals. You're going to gain your strength, whatever your goals are. That's just what's going to happen. Guaranteed. In the next few months, that's what's going to happen. I promise you. And not to say that those things don't work temporarily or that they don't have an effect in the physical world, but they don't really equip you to trust yourself. They don't empower you or give you the skills or the support or even just the permission to trust your own body. And so we're kind of like living in this world where like, I gotta rely on my trainer to tell me what to do. I gotta rely on this program or this new science. And we're missing that connection with ourselves. And so the 4-H method is about making your body your home, feeling comfortable and confident in it because you connect with yourself. And that's the foundation. And from there, you have a safe place to explore, to put on new habits and practices in your life that are absolutely beneficial for your health, like movement and awareness with eating. I'm not saying that none of that matters. I'm saying there's a better way to do it where you're the boss, where you're the expert of your own body. Just like we say, your body, your choice. We're taking away our own choice in fitness when we're telling you, you got to do this, and you got to do this, and you got to do this. Consent matters so much, especially with fitness in any area, but in fitness too. So, I'm so grateful that I was given this gift. I feel like it's a gift when I became open to receiving and open to any possibilities. It was a gift, and I'm so grateful for it. And I wrote when I was in my notes on that plane, I wrote so many things. One thing is, this is a structure. You are the water. You're the rain, you're the waterfall. It flows into the ocean. Your own worthiness, your own power. I'm not saying it as eloquently as I wrote it, but you're the water. And this program just provides a structure for you, like the earth, the rocks in the stream, the rocks in the waterfall, the ground. It's not doing the work for you. You are the power. You are the force. You are the water. This is just providing a framework for you to flow in and for you to grow in. And the other thing is, I told myself, Michelle, create this for you. Food and exercise and obsession with weight, like this scale took over my life for years. It really determined my mood. It made my choices for the day. I felt good about myself if I was doing the right things like the programs told me or these professionals told me or what this diet book told me, just like I was mentioning before. And if I didn't have that, or if I broke the rules, or if I didn't feel like I was doing enough, I was miserable. And so it controlled me. So this is what I'm creating for past me, for me when I was in that world and I was so stuck and obsessed and controlled when I was in my late teens. It's for me when I was decided to recover and I didn't want that to take over my life, but it was so hard to find that balance. And I went from extreme to, I would restrict sometimes and then I would feel like what I did were binges. I would try to make up with exercise and my body was getting bigger and I didn't like it. And I felt a lot of self-hatred. It was still the same monster, just it looked different. This is for me then. And this is for me now. This is for me putting this together is like an artist creating a sculpture or a painting that's just pleasing to them. That's what it feels like. And if you would like to do this, I know it can help you. If this resonates with you, I know that it can transform your life and your relationship with food, with exercise, and mostly with yourself, because really that's what it's all about. It's not about the food. It's not about the exercise. It's about your relationship with yourself. But you've got to start with your connection with yourself. And that's the first thing we address. It's unlike any other fitness program or health program out there. I mean, if you've seen one like it, you can let me know and we can talk. I could talk with the creator. I'm sure we'd have good conversations. But yes, you're invited to join. There's all the information is on the page. You can go to the link in my bio. go.mlroscoe.com/the 4-H method is the link. And we start, the first iteration starts on March 25th. It's a Monday. I decided to release it about 4 years after I started my business. So 4 years ago right now, I was creating little posts on Canva talking about how I could train you. I invested like $12,000 in my first coaching business 4 years ago. I started working, 12-hour days and just becoming like, I'm so excited. I want to do this 4 years ago. And I've learned a lot of lessons since then, but that's a different story. If you're an entrepreneur, there's another program for you that I'm doing with 100 State, and you can see that in the link in my bio. But yeah, join if this feels right to you. And if it doesn't, I mean, it's not for you now, maybe later. That's okay. There's no pressure. This is for you, and this is for me, and for healing. And I love you so much. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. If you have any questions, you can message me here. You can connect with me on my website, and I'll talk with you soon. Hello, my name is Michelle, Coach Michelle. I'm going to be sharing with you about the 4-H method, what it is and who it's for and why it matters to you. So the 4-H method is based on 4 words: hope, habits, happiness, health, which hence the 4-H. And I chose a pyramid design image for the 4-H method because it best describes the framework. So we start with hope. This is the foundation. Most of the time when people start a fitness and health regimen, maybe they want to get into shape, or they want to eat healthier, or they want to take better care of their bodies. They start with health. They start with, what can I do to exercise? What can I do to eat better? But the best place to start, where you're going to see the most long-term sustainable changes, is with hope. Making your body your home. Taking ownership of your body and your life, and knowing that it is good. And from there, we build habits, which are your practices. Happiness, taking your whole life into account. And health, your hero journey. I'm going to explain more about what that means. So we start with hope. What is hope? When I was 16, I developed an eating disorder. It lasted 4 years. I was later diagnosed with anorexia nervosa. And even after my diagnosis and decision to go into recovery, it was a long battle with my body, with food, with exercise. So many issues, so much harmful behavior. It was like there was a monster in the back of my head telling me what to do, and I felt like I had to listen to it. That took over my life. It really took away a lot of years and joy from my life. When I recovered, I had to start with the place that was the hardest, and that was acceptance. Accepting myself as I was, not when or if, but just as I was. And that's where the worthiness comes from. When we can understand and know the truth is already there, that you are already 100% worthy. You're not going to be any more or less worthy depending on how you eat or how you look or how you exercise. You are already 100% worthy. It's easier said than done. But from there, you also know that you have the power to create the life you desire. So you are already arrived. You've already arrived. There's no place to get to. You're already there. What do you want to do with your life? You are infinite power to create. And why not create what you want? So you start with these 2 truths, and you create a safe space in your body where you feel comfortable and confident in your own body, in your own self. And the best way to do that is through rest. And from that truth, we build on with habits. So when we know that we are worthy and we know we are powerful, we don't become a vegetable. Although that would be fine if you wanted to be a vegetable and just do nothing for the rest of your life. That is completely fine. You would be just as worthy, just as valuable. And because your worth is not found in what you do or what you have or who you know, but just
you existing, you're worthy. But from that place, you actually start to create desires. You actually start to realize, hey, I want to do this with my life. And I want health to be a part of my life because I want to live the maximum enjoyable life that I can. And we create these practices. I like to frame habits as practices because that's what they are. We're not going for perfection. We're going for progress. Progress comes from already perfect. You already know that you're whole and complete. So what are some elements to habits? What does it look like? And this is really the ongoing stage. We start with hope, but the ongoing stage is habits. So having daily, weekly, monthly habits, some baseline ones that help you, support you in your health, and then building onto that so that healthy actions and results become a natural part of your life. And I show you how to do that in the 4-H method. But you need a safe space to express your worth and power. So a place where you feel safe to fail and to try again. A place where you are welcomed and not judged for your mistakes or just being you. You're accepted as you are. Which goes into sympathetic support. So you got support and connection with others. This is one of the best ways to connect and to heal. In the Western world, we are very much into individualism. I can do it on my own. But the truth is the best way that you're going to get growth and progress and make it so much easier for yourself is to get support from others. You have a solid structure to flow in. I like to think of the 4-H method as rocks or the earth along with the sky supporting your growth, your waterfall, your river flowing into the ocean of your worthiness and your power. So it's you doing the work. It's all coming from you, but the 4-H method provides a structure for you to flow in. And that's super important. I used to be a teacher. I know how important routine is, predictability, structure in order to feel safe and to grow. I have unconditional self-compassion. That doesn't mean that you're always in love with yourself and you're never hard on yourself or you never think of mean thought. It just means that you always come back to, I'm on my own side. I'm going to be here for myself no matter what. And by the way, these are all practices. This is a practice. It's not something that you get perfect at. You just get better at it through practice. I use smart strategies to help. So we're not just shooting in the dark and just guessing. We actually have science-based, data-backed strategies to help us make these changes and to create them in our lives, based on experiences from others, but as well as scientific feedback. And I have simple sequential steps to grow. So you're not just going from, point J to point B, you're going sequentially from A to Z, working over time, progressing over time. So we start from the beginning and we build up from there with these habits. Super important. Most people, I will say, they start in fitness and health. They go to the really advanced things or things that aren't really helpful for where you're at, rather than focusing on these practices and habits so that it becomes stressful and a little bit beyond what is sustainable and realistic, rather than starting with the basic practices. And that is where we start in the 4-H method. What is the outcome? So we start with hope. That's our foundation. And we carry that. It bleeds into everything we do. It's the fabric that interweaves with everything else, with those habits and our health. I am worthy. I am powerful. My body is my home. It is mine. And then from there, we create these practices, which is the longest journey of tweaking and practicing and mastering the basics. And what is the result? Happiness. What does that look like? It doesn't mean you're happy all the time. It means we take your whole life into account, because if you are healthy and doing all the right things, but you are not happy, as in you are happy in your mind, you're happy in your emotions, you're happy in your relationships, and things are thriving, that's not true health. Health is holistic. We're not just physical beings, we're emotional, mental, environmental, spiritual beings. So what does it look like? You are clear on your own needs. You know what you need because you've practiced, you've listened to your body, you've trusted your body. You choose what's good for you as a whole person. So you're not going to prioritize short-term weight loss over long-term sustainability unless you know that that's what you need and you're wise enough to trust yourself. You consistently care for yourself in a balanced way. So often with food and exercise, we feel like we got on the wagon, we get off the wagon. We get on track, we get off the track. The 4-H method helps you demolish all of that, and consistency, not regimented, grit your teeth, no matter what you're feeling, you just push through kind of consistency, but the kind of consistency where you trust yourself, where you go with the flow while also maintaining an anchor with your health habits. I consistently care for myself in a balanced way, away from extreme eating, with whether it's deprivation or overeating. I like to put that in quotation marks because what is that? Or going back and forth, or same with exercise. You are capable in your fitness, so you don't need to constantly outsource your fitness to someone else. Of course, you get support and education, but you feel confident in your own body and in your own health because you know what to do, because you've put in the work, you've put in the practice, the habits. You know that even if you didn't have these habits, you'd be worthy and you'd be valuable as a human being and that you matter. Oh, it's so good. Finally, the outcome of this, and I put happiness before health because if you don't have happiness, you're not really healthy. It all culminates into health. And this is your hero journey where you continue to take this, you continue to build on hope and habits and happiness, and you create the life that you want to live. You create the life that you want to live. Your health is not some constraining, if I don't have certain activities or if I don't eat a certain way, then I don't feel good about myself. Your health is your hero journey where you get to create your own story, where you get to live the life that you want to live based on your own values and dreams and desires, and use health not as the end all be all, but as a tool, as a way to live your healthiest life. And I like to narrow this down into 3 things. If you know me and you've seen this so far, you know that I might like alliteration. And I do like alliteration. I just think it's so fun. It's easier to remember. And I just like things structured and is pleasing. I used to be a linguistics major. I have a master's in linguistics, so I love words and I love how we can play with them. And I used to be a teacher as well. And that comes through, I think, in my practice. But anyways, I am emancipated from external expectations and internal criticism. In the 4-H method, we go over diet culture, how society plays a role in our decisions around food and exercise, for better or for worse. And you get really clear on what you want, not what other people want you to do or what society tells you to do, but what you really, really want. You can't get clear on that if you have all this noise around you. But health is being emancipated or free, liberated from external expectations of, you should look a certain way, or this is what you should do. And that internal criticism of like, you're never good enough, your body looks ugly, blah, 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 or whatever the monsters say. You're free from that. It doesn't mean that it goes away. It just means that you know how to handle it and it doesn't control you anymore. You have energy to do the things you love with people you love, where you love. So health, again, is not the end all be all. It's a way to live the life that you want, to do the things that you want. You don't want to spend your whole life in a gym. You don't want to spend your whole life counting grams of food. Maybe you do, but most of us probably don't. You want to go out and live your life. You want to go on adventures. You want to have the energy to do everything that you want to do with the people you love, or alone, if you just want to be alone. And then lastly, I feel empowered in my body. I'm empowered. I feel free. I know what my body needs. I know what my body wants. I know my body is good. I know how it works because I've put different habits into practice. I've learned education about my body and how it works based on science. I've leaned into spirituality and how that affects my choices, knowing that it's not just the physical, but it's so much more. And you can enjoy full health. This is the 4-H method. I've laid all of this out into a program where we start with hope, and from there we build habits and continue to consider your whole life. Take that holistic approach with your daily, weekly, monthly habits, structures to help support you in your growth, and a plethora. The 4-H method provides a plethora of education, lessons around mindset, exercise, nutrition, lifestyle, as well as extra access to dig deeper docs where you get to really apply it to your life. So many tools, fitness tools, health tools, all in one place for you to access and to grow at your own pace wherever you are at, along with support from me, from your coach, and from others as well. It's a beautiful place to thrive. I believe that it is something that could benefit every single person in the world in their health. I believe that. I think if everyone did this program, the world would be a better place, a much better place. And that's why I created it. I feel like it was a gift given to me to share with the world. But it's especially for those who have struggled with extremes in their past, whether with eating or fitness. Maybe you're in the throes of it right now and you want to find balance. It's all about how to create and enjoy a healthy lifestyle and enjoy it. So fitness doesn't take over your life, it enhances your life. But it all starts with you. If you're willing to take this journey and make your body your home and make your health your hero journey, join the 4-H method. I'd love to see you there. Coach Michelle.
Hey there, me one more time because this is my podcast. I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. If you would be so kind and generous as to leave a review, a good review, it would mean a lot to the podcast and to growing this so more people can get a hold of it. If you would like to get more support, continue listening to this podcast. Follow me on Instagram, friend me on Facebook. You can find me in the link in the show notes. Always feel free to reach out to me. An email is always welcome. Happy to hear from you. And the best way that I actually can help you is, if and when you're ready, is for you to join the 4-H method. It's my signature program, and it helps you make your body your home and your health your hero journey, transforming your health and life from the inside out. Remember, you are worthy, you are powerful. Like you, love you, Coach Michelle.